Suit up, strap in, warm the tires, and leave on yellow. Time for the MitsuTimes podcast, presented by MitsuTimes.org, the home of the fastest Mitsubishi cars. With your host, Josh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the MitsuTimes podcast. My guest today is Mr. Dylan Boring. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you, Josh?
I am excellent. It's great to have you on. One of the most recent MitsuTimes cards people that come on the podcast that already have cards. This is going to be episode number 139. So if you type in episode podcast 139, you get $2 off a pack of trading cards, and you will guarantee to have one of Dylan's cards in your pack.
That's awesome. Let's go.
That'd be pretty sweet, yeah. Well, Dylan, your car you nicknamed the Great Evo 8, which I just love.
Yep.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about the setup on it?
I mean, it's my street car mainly. It's a very basic setup. It's a 2.2 short block from English Racing, just a street setup. And man, it's been reliable. I haven't had any issues with that short block. It's just basic headwork, springs, valves, nothing crazy, S3 cams. I have a 68 millimeter Art Generi turbo. Man, I love that thing. It's an awesome between street and drag turbo. Makes amazing power. I'm running ethanol as fuel. It's your basic double pumper, 2525s, 2150 injectors. Car should be pushing 850 to the wheels, I would assume. Had it street tuned by Michael Gombos. So we should be getting on a dyno here soon. Be able to actually get you some power ratings. And transmission, we've had some issues in the past, running a lot of stock transmissions, just kept throwing them in there. So right now we're running a Busher Trans. It's from about 10 years ago, and man, it's held up. But I think we're getting ready for a rebuild on it. So I've been talking to Hugh Tran about getting a new trans built, and I think we're gonna build something awesome here.
Hell yeah! Nothing crazy as far as parts, right?
No, it's really a very simple setup. I mean, nothing crazy.
Did you go through the ECU already?
Yeah, we did actually just change the stock ECU out for a Haltech 1500.
Yeah.
Threw in the IC7 dash while we were in there.
Ooh.
Little fancy touch there.
Yeah, I like that. So, Dylan, what is it that drew you to the Evo platform?
Funny story. I mean, so I'm only 24. I got into the Evo platform when I was about 21 years old. My older brother, Josh, who runs Boring Built with me, he had an Evo about 10 years ago, just a basic 400 horsepower, bolt-on Evo. It was awesome. I love the thing. So he sold all his cars for his house. So I started out with a Veloster turbo. Nothing crazy, just a Veloster turbo.
Wow.
So, and then I talked him into getting a car. He looked at a few Evos and man, he just couldn't find the right deal. So he went with a Volkswagen Golf R, and he wasn't too happy with it. Not that it wasn't it was a bad car or anything. It was just not what he was looking for. So he sold that to me, a little upgrade from the Veloster. We went to New York City and bought him his Evo 9. So really, since then, I said, I thought this Golf R was cool. I need something faster. So that's what really got me into the Evo platform.
And the Evo has kind of been a family affair ever since, huh?
It has, yeah. I mean, my older brother Josh, he started out in a few Evos here and there, and after we got this 9, I went and got some Evos, and today we finally just talked our other brother Jordan into into buying a 10. So we should be seeing that around, and might do a crazy build on that coming up.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I love that so much. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's too many three brothers in a family that's going to have Evo 8, 9, and 10.
No,
so,
no way. Well,
pretty cool to see.
Dylan, what was this car like when you first picked it up?
You know what? It was same short block. Short block's been in the car for a little bit. I bought the car from Texas. Crazy clean car. High 60,000 miles, I believe it was. Beautiful, beautiful body. It had a 6875, and I had that on for about a week when I got it, and I said that is way too much. I was not ready for that, so we went down to a 6466, and it was a stock ECU, stock transmission, S2 cams, just also another very basic setup. Added a little bit bigger fuel system since then, but no, it's been a great car since I got it.
Good deal. I mean, super clean too. At least I didn't get to look at the inside too much, but the outside looks super clean.
Yeah, inside basically, I mean, I actually went with a little bit heavier seat setup. I went to an Evo 10 seat because man, I love that seat. That Recaro is a very comfortable, street driving chair. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, they're definitely they put a lot of thought into the seats for the Evo 10.
I agree.
So you picked this thing up, and it's got a 68 on it, and you have any original goals at this point, or you just
so my original goal with it, yeah, it was just I didn't know. I've never been on a drag strip in my life. Josh, he's always been talking about the drag strip. He's went here and there, so he kind of talked me into going. And I'm like, I kind of want to just try to run a maybe 11-second quarter mile. I mean, it's a manual car. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's not the fastest, but it's not the easiest thing to do. So 11 seconds, what I was planning on, and first run down the drag strip ever, I ran an 11.4, and I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, you get my all-time PB on your first pass. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was happy. I'll say that. It's not, as I said, it's not the fastest, but I was happy.
Yeah, for sure. And as far as a beginner going to the track, how was the Evo? Taking it down the drag strip.
You know what? It was awesome. I was on the stock 17-inch Evo 8 wheels with a Nitto tire. So that's a little bit more rough than running those 15s and 16s, giving a little bit more give on the tire. So that first time at the drag strip, it was real smooth. Ran an 11.4. Then we actually got a few more passes in and ran a 10.7. So we were 140 miles an hour there, and I was pretty happy. Broken axle, that ended our day there at the first time at the drag strip, but easy fix, and I was happy with it.
Good deal. So, Dylan, I want to talk about some of the different setups you've had on that you really liked. I know you said you started out with I think it was a PTE 68.
Yep, PTE 6875 Gen 2. That was, I went through probably 5 different turbos with this thing. I was at the 6875. I had that on for, just test driving the car when I bought it, pretty much. I bought it in November, so didn't have much time here in PA with winter comes quick. So we went down to a 6466. A guy traded me straight up, and I was happy. It's a forward-facing setup. And it was a good turbo. We were running 10-second quarter miles. I was happy. But then I met a guy, real good guy, Tyler Gennari. A lot of people know him. Owner of Art Gennari Turbo. He hooked me up with a 6262. I went even smaller, but man, I made very close to the same power as that 6466. And that was getting me some good passes. I was happy with it. Also, we changed to that 1500, and that was a huge change from the stock. That a lot of safeties in that 1500, and it saved the car quite a bit. Other than that, we changed the transmission a few times. Went from a bone stock to a busher trans, and it helped a lot. We exploded that stock one pretty good at around 700 horsepower.
Man, that's some real high quality turbos you went through there.
Yeah. Now we're on that 68. So I'm real happy with Tyler's turbos. They're ripping. Josh and I are both on that new 68 from him. Pretty small housing, so it's not nearly as big as that 6875 housing, but man, it spools just as fast as a 6466 and makes amazing power. It's perfect for the street and awesome on the track. I can't wait to see what we get to do next with it.
Awesome. So that original 11.4, and then how long after that was your first 10-second pass?
From what I'm thinking, it was the same day.
Okay.
We ran an 11.4, 11.2, and then I think we got into a 10.9 on that 6466.
Wow. Okay. And what was the changes from that 10 to get you down into the 9s where you are now?
You know what? I actually in the 10s I was at 6466 for a while. Then we swapped to Tyler's 62, and put that busher trans in, and we pushed it. We were running low 10s very consistently. 6262 was pretty small turbo, and it was pushing some boosts. We slapped a 1.06 hot side on it, and it started pushing a little bit more power. And with that transmission, kept the setup all the same. We got into the 9s, and I was pretty happy with a 6262, running about 36 pounds of boost on it. Nothing crazy.
Okay. That's so what year do you think it was that you ran that 9?
That 9 was two years ago at the shootout. We ran that 9.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't that long ago. I've only been doing this a few years, and man, the progress since then, it's been going up. We've been pushing it, and I can't wait for this next year.
Awesome. So with the the stock trans and the different turbos, the 2.2 block, you think if you could go back and start all over, you would change any of that stuff and go straight to your setup now, or would you just go through the steps like you did before?
You know what? I love that 2.2. Being a street car as well, I'd keep the 2.2. Most likely Busher short block. That's what Josh is running his car as a billet crank. And man, it is a beast of a motor. I'm very happy with how it spools the turbos, how the power comes on. Very good torque. So I'm happy with it. Really, the only thing I would change is I honestly wish the body wasn't as clean as it was and low miles as it is. It's really stopping me from throwing a cage in it and going full drag car.
Yeah, getting real serious with it.
It really is. It's hard to cut a hole in a 60,000 mile, very, very clean shell.
Ooh, man. Better you than me. Well, Dylan, you talked about, not really setbacks, but, broken axle and trans blowing up. What is it about this car that makes you not just, sell it and move on to a different platform when something breaks, but you put some money into it, build it, and keep going, getting back out there?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot being very familiar with the platform, and also Josh having his. Man, we love competition. It's very friendly competition. He goes faster, I go faster. It keeps going back and forth. I'm not trying to be the fastest guy out there. I'm trying to have fun and compete with my brother, and we love the platform. It's honestly very reliable and cheap. if you build them right. So we've had very little issues with these setups, and it just keeps pushing me to keep going with it. I look at these other platforms, and GTRs and Supras, man, they're awesome, but quite a bit more money to build these things and buy them from the dealers.
For sure. Yeah. And I think you got into Evos about the right time too, because now they're certainly spiked way up there.
Yeah, I actually I think I got a pretty good deal on mine. As I said, it was from Texas, super clean car, no rust or anything. It's a beautiful car for the price. I was very happy to get into it at the time that I did, and during about 2020, 2021, it was bad economy, so I was very happy with the price I paid and what they're up to now.
Okay. Well, Dylan, you got to be pretty excited with the new 68 millimeter for 2025. Are there any goals that you're looking at in 2025?
Oh yeah, we're changing quite a bit. We're as I said, I'm talking to Hugh Tran. He's going to build me a pretty sick setup for the transmission. I think it's going to be a game changer, and I can't wait to see the setup. We're going to push some more boosts. I've worked with Michael Gombos a little bit, and I think he's really going to help me push this car deep into the nines and really see what it can do. It's been opening up. We've been playing with it. Car got ready a little bit late this past year and rushed it together, but it was doing pretty good at the shootout. With the rain, couldn't get many passes in, unfortunately. So we're having some fuel issues. Stock wiring to the double pumper was really lowering our voltage and not pushing the fuel pressure we wanted. So we wired that, and it helped a lot. But unfortunately, in the elimination round, the crimp came out of the wire came out of the crimp, and we lost my second fuel pump. So luckily the Haltech shut it off in under half a second. So it really saved my motor there. So I was happy there. I was happy what the car was about to do, and what it's going to do this next year is going to be pretty awesome with this new setup and new transmission.
Yeah, I bet you're chomping at the bit to get back out there as soon as it warms up.
I am. We were just at Keystone maybe about 2 months ago. We got rained out, so we went up to Quaker City in Ohio, and we got some good passes in. We were running some low tens. At the shootout, the car was running 150 miles an hour. I was very happy with that. Then at Quaker, my trans is starting to let go. So we called it a quits there, and I'm going to throw this new transmission in and see what it does.
Man, that's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We fixed a major issue at the shootout also. We're having is my launch control was getting stuck on all the way through first because I didn't have a speed limit set up for it. So it had a 6,800 limiter in first until I let off the clutch the whole way. At that time, I was in second. So we were running about 150 miles an hour rolling into it pretty much. So once I get this 60 foot down and we got the speedometer issue fixed, I think we're gonna run some good times.
You're gonna have a rocket ship on your hands.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, a 9-second pass is no small feat, but do you have a long-term goal, like a number in mind that you want to hit?
You know what? I've told myself every year, I'm happy with 11s. I'm happy with 10s. Now I'm happy with just, breaking into 9s. So we'll see where it goes, but I'm happy to get deeper into the 9s and, maybe be a 9.0 reliable car that I can still drive to get ice cream on the weekend. That's my main goal with it.
Yeah, without having to climb in and out of a cage, too. That's pretty nice.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my main thing. I know I'm gonna be caging it here. Josh just ordered a cage for his, so we kind of follow each other's footsteps and that stuff. And we've also been learning new stuff. We bought a TIG welder, so we're gonna be teaching ourselves how to do that, and most likely welding a cage together.
Yeah, love that. Save a ton of money doing it yourself.
Oh yeah, we try to do everything we can as much as we can ourselves. We just learn more and more.
Good deal. Well, Dylan, I would imagine there is a ton of people out there with an Evo who just want to be where you are on the list. So if there's someone out there and they want to get to where you are on the list, what advice would you give them for their build?
You know what? I've seen a lot of people rush into Evos, put cheaper parts on, rush things. I'm very fortunate to have my brother Josh to help me through and tell me what's right and what's wrong. You can't put cheap parts. You can't be quick with these things. Do it right the first time and it will last. All these big guys, yeah, they're breaking parts, but they're pushing all this horsepower. They aren't rushing their cars. They're decently reliable at the power that they're making. Our cars are very reliable at the power they're making. You can't go cheap with things. Just do it right the first time. Take your time and get it done. That's really all I have to say is take your time and be patient with it. It will come, and you'll get faster and faster. It takes time. I was very happy with how I started, and that's because the car was built right, and we went through it as soon as we got it and made sure everything was done right. We had to change a few things, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn some things. The cars are very simple. Just jump right into it. You'll learn.
I think what you said really hits home because you see a lot of people building a car to run a 9, but they haven't ran a 10 or an 11 yet.
Exactly. Yeah. You got to go in. Drag racing's hard. It's not easy. I don't care how much horsepower your car is making. You're getting in these H pattern manual cars. It's not easy to get off the line. The track is a whole different game. So you just got to be patient with it and take your time. It will come as it goes, and practice is the biggest thing. Get to the track if that's what you want to do. Get some track time, and I've only been on the track maybe 6 or 7 times in my life, and just go, just practice, and you'll get there.
Yeah. I think someone has said on here before, but seat time is more important than parts.
It is. Yes, definitely. I think with more seat time, we're definitely going further in this quarter mile. So I'm very glad to say I got 2 drag strips an hour from me. So fortunate that they're there, and we can make time throughout the year and get some seat time in. That's the biggest thing, is getting seat time and just learning the car. Every car is different. My brother's 9 is completely different than my 8. Very similar setup, and they're 2 completely different cars. You just got to learn your car and go from there.
For sure. Yeah. Well, Dylan, you talked about having a few other Evos in between having this one. Is there any that you want to talk about?
Yeah. So I mean, when Josh bought his Evo, I had that Golf R, so I said I definitely want to get the Evo platform, but I still wanted a street car. So I actually went with a 2011 Evo 10 I bought locally here, and it was a completely stock car. We threw one of Tyler's 62 millimeter stock frame turbos on there. Did some head work, and that's about it. Threw it on ethanol and made it about a 500 wheel horsepower car. Was very, very happy with it. I love that car. It was an ultimate street car. It was amazing. And between there, we had a 2G GSX. Had some plans for it, but we didn't end up going down the road. The Evo takes a lot of time and money, so we got rid of that Evo 10 and the GSX, and we eventually ended up getting my 8. So ever since then, that's been taking all the time and money away, and it takes a lot of time. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Unlike most people, you went from Evo to DSM instead of the other way around.
Yeah. I was very happy with Evo 10. I really was. It was just I wanted more, and I think it's easier to make the power, and the parts are a little bit cheaper for the 8s and 9s.
Mm-hmm.
Lighter car. But man, I've seen some of these Evo 10s stock block pushing 600-700 horsepower. Wow. For a good amount of time. They're a very, very good car. And I wouldn't mind getting another one.
Yeah. Well, Dylan, what events can we come out and see your car in action in 2025?
I think 2025 is going to be a big test year for the car. So a lot of local events here at Keystone and Quaker City. I think we're going to be going there quite a bit more than we have this past few years to get a lot of testing in the car. We haven't got a lot of testing in the car as we've been changing the setup a lot. And we'll definitely be attending the 2025 shootout. That's an every year thing. I don't care if we have something going on. We're missing it. We're going to the shootout. Josh, he broke his car right before the shootout. I believe it was 2 years ago, and he came. Without his car, it was my pit crew, and he helped me through that whole shootout. So the shootout's a big thing for us, and we'll definitely be there this year. Hopefully our other brother with his Evo 10 he bought today we're going to be there with us and be under our tent, and we'll see what he wants to do with that.
There you go. That'll be real fun. All three of you at the track at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's the plan.
Good deal. Well, let's talk about where people can find and follow you on social media so they can take a better look at this car.
Yeah, so my Evo's Instagram is the Great Evo 8. Post a lot of stuff about my car on there. Then we also have another Instagram. It's our media, and we do some stuff here and there. Boring Built. It's on Instagram and Facebook. It's kind of the shop's Instagram that we just post some stuff we're doing with both cars and maybe some other cars we get through the shop. So we get a lot of content through there. It's pretty interesting. Going to be starting a YouTube up under Boring Build as well. Hopefully be able to get some good footage all throughout the track, and definitely a pretty good video at the shootout this year. Maybe get one of my buddies with his camera to follow us around and make some nice YouTube videos.
Hell yeah, that's what we need. Some more content for like racing and stuff instead of just building.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like the building stuff too, but the racing stuff.
I agree. I agree.
Well, good deal. All right, so Dylan, at the end, I always give people a chance to give a thanks or a shout out to anybody who's helped them get where they are, get their car where it is. Is there anybody that you want to give a thanks or a shout out to?
The biggest person is my brother Josh. I would not be where I am without his help, and man, he knows this platform so well. He really, really helped me through everything. So big shout out to him. Michael Gumbos, my tuner, he's been helping me. He takes a lot of time out. Before his wedding, he was tuning Josh and I's cars. It was the day of the wedding. So it was quite awesome. He's a very good guy, very good person, and an awesome tuner. I'm very happy with that. Tyler Gennari, he helped me through so much with my car, not just with the turbos, but with answering questions, just hanging out, being a real good guy. He's one of the nicest guys I know. He'll help you out with anything, no matter who you are. If he doesn't know you, he will help you out. He's willing to help out anybody. Boosted Fabrication, Curtis over there, he's been hooking us up with parachute mounts and all this cool stuff. He's also a real good guy. And last but not least, Totally Baked Powder Coating. Our cars would not look good as they do right now. I mean, the gold is a big part of my engine bay, and I get a lot of compliments on it. Last year at the shootout, we were running a crazy lime green wheel that was pretty bright. So a lot of people was wondering where that one came from, and they just want to do something bright and different.
Yeah, it really stands out against the blue. I love that lime green.
Yeah, it was different. I'm happy to have the new weld set up on there, but it was a beautiful color.
Well, good deal, Dylan. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your story. And I definitely am excited to see what you do with that 68 millimeter. So absolute best of luck, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for talking. It was awesome.
Of course. Well, I'll see you at the track.
Yep. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you for listening to the MitsuTimes podcast. Check out our Instagram and Facebook for daily updates. Get added to our list by going to MitsuTimes.org and clicking Submit a Slip. Thank you to all of our sponsors.